How's it going, folks? Jeremy Adrian here. Welcome back to the channel and to another MMO News Drop weekend. First of all, yes, it's been a while. I've been dealing with an emergency and had to step away for a week or so, but that's over now, so let's talk some MMOs. I've been catching up with all that's happened over the past week or so myself, and let's break down some of the more exciting stuff from the usual suspects, and then throughout the course of the week, we'll check out some new titles and all that good stuff. Let's start off with Final Fantasy XIV and some really big news that emerged from the latest letter from the producer livestream. Yoshi P and crew took some questions from the players and in one answer has confirmed that Square Enix are working toward making the main scenario quests in the base game, A Realm Reborn, to be more compact. Furthermore, players could see these changes reflected in-game as early as patch 5.3. Why is this big? Anyone who plays Final Fantasy XIV will tell you that there's a lot of content to go through in the main scenario quests before you even get to the first expansion and subsequently onward to Shadowbringers, which is this year's expansion. This change will make the new player experience friendlier, one might feel, to ensure that you don't get burned out before you even get to some of the best parts of the MMORPG. There is a slight concern, of course, about what exactly is going to be cut out or trimmed or shortened, especially considering that there's a lot of important story build-up and plot points that take place in A Realm Reborn, which does pay off in the later expansions and patches. Let's just hope that they get the balance right, but overall this is pretty good news for newcomers after patch 5.3. Secondly, for Final Fantasy XIV, there's a free login campaign currently running, and if you've been away from the game for a while and have dropped your subscription, you can return to the game and play for a total of 6 days. The campaign ends on August 16th, so there's still a week left to come back and check out all that's new. Next up, let's get to World of Warcraft, and August is of course a big month for Blizzard and the WoW community because World of Warcraft Classic will be launching this month. For those interested and involved, a final test is still underway, and beyond that, there's nothing to do but wait for the time portal to open and for the adventure to start all over again. Now, this past week, due to popular demand, Blizzard has announced that it will be including a role-playing PvP server realm for WoW Classic, but only available for North America, for some reason that I couldn't find the answer to. Maybe role-playing PvP isn't just much of a thing anywhere else. Besides that, name reservations for WoW Classic begins tomorrow, the 12th of August, and players with an active subscription or game time can create 3 characters per WoW account. Mark your calendars and be quick about it because having your character name taken on launch day is a sucky feeling. On the retail side of things, Blizzard are working toward class changes in the wake of patch 8.2 with buffs and nerfs to classes that you can expect, and for those whose subscription has lapsed, you may be gifted randomly with a free level 100 character boost when you log into your Battle.net launcher. This is part of the 15th anniversary celebration, and you may or may not get it, just check in case. Over to Guild Wars 2 now, and the big one this coming week is the arrival of a PvP update. Dropping on August 13th, players will be able to check out a brand new 2 vs 2 structured PvP map called the Auric Span. The new map rules available are Elimination and Best of 3, while there is a gameplay variant that at the 2-minute mark, healing and stealth will be disabled and AoE effect damage will begin to invade the arena. It's a small update for the PvP community, and 2v2s could be interesting for some highly competitive small-scale competition among you folks. It's little, but hey, it's a start. Elsewhere for Guild Wars 2, we got the Q2 financial report from NCSoft, and Guild Wars 2's financial numbers have not changed a whole lot over the last 3 quarters, so there's some talk about internal projects being reviewed, which could mean anything at this point, including rumors about a mobile app and more, which I'd like to break down further in a separate video. Onward we go now to Standing Stone Games, as its 2 MMORPGs, which are The Lord of the Rings Online and Dungeons & Dragons Online, has some interesting stuff. Let's start with LOTRO. A new playable race has been confirmed, and it's the Stout X Dwarves, coming in this year's Minas Morgul expansion. The good news is Standing Stone Games have learned their lesson, it seems, and will be including the new race in all 3 editions of the expansion, unlike the High Elf race fiasco that we saw which occurred during the Mordor expansion. Speaking to a few LOTRO pals, all agree, while very nice, they'd rather see a new class instead. Anyone else here feel the same way? On top of that, LOTRO has also released update 24.2 featuring new content in the form of story quests, a new dungeon, and class changes. On the Dungeons & Dragons Online side of things, SSG will be releasing a permadeath hardcore server on August the 16th. This server was in testing for a bit over the last week, and the devs have shared some details about how exactly things will play out on this server. Basically, when you die, it's done. Fairly standard, really. When you're out of HP, someone can still save you and heal you, but if you die, it's truly over. You cannot be raised or resurrected, and you have to create another character and start over. Progress made on this PD server will transfer over to the live game after the permadeath service run, which will last a total of 90 days. Let's head back to NCSoft for a bit because they've been pretty busy. AION North America, for one, is getting the Mark of the Vandal update on August 21st, featuring a new class, the Demaha Zone, and a dungeon to boot. The new class is of course the Vandal, a ranged class that uses chromal blasters that does look pretty cool. But really, everything else about this update is exactly the same that the European version of AION got toward the end of July. So if you want to know more about that update, you gotta watch my last news drop from about 2 weeks ago. But the main attraction is of course the new class. In the American version it's called the Vandal, in the EU version it's called the Painter. What else is NCSoft up to then? Well, according to several media outlets, they are in negotiations with the City of Heroes Homecoming Rogue server operators, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the outcome of this will be. Are the operators trying to legitimize the servers? They've already started taking donations to keep the servers running, and are NCSoft trying the same thing to make a quick buck out of this resurgence? What do you folks think? For EVE Online players, no doubt you may have heard about EVE Echoes, the mobile MMO based on a parallel EVE universe from NetEase Games and CCP. Well, this month, the game will be having its closed alpha tests that you can sign up for to check out this mobile MMO. The test will run from Monday, 26th of August until Friday, the 20th of September, so that's plenty of time to get a feel for the MMO if you are interested in having more EVE on your phones. Players can sign up at eveechoes.com. If this is your first time hearing about EVE Echoes, this is what the developers are calling a next-gen mobile MMO game based upon the hallmark EVE Online design principles coming to iOS and Android. In EVE Echoes, players will be able to forge their own path to glory within a massive sandbox environment and forge alliances with other players and pilots from across the galaxy to shape the game's persistent universe. Players will be free to engage in interstellar combat, resource collection, industrial manufacturing, trade, exploration, and really all the usual activities that you'll find yourself doing in EVE Online, just now in the palm of your hands. And hey, remember SKYFORGE, that free-to-play MMORPG about immortal gods mixed in with the sci-fi setting from the creators of Allods? Well, it's still around, and about a week or so ago had announced a brand new expansion called Ignition. The Axe-Pack will broaden the game world of AION with all new content and lore surrounding the banishment and the return of the elder god Kyr, which existing players I assume would know something about. More importantly, Ignition will also introduce a brand new class called the Firestarter, and it's SKYFORGE's first fire-based class ever. Anyway, the expansion will be free for all players and arrives this September on PC, PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One. And last but not least, let's wrap up this news drop with something new from the China Joy Convention this past week. A new Dragon Ball game is coming, and it is an MMORPG called Dragon Ball Legend of Time and Space. The MMORPG will be for the PC and was in closed beta earlier in the year and recently in May, featuring 4 playable races that will be familiar to Dragon Ball fans. There's the Maijin, the Saiyan, Earthlings, and Namekians. Now earlier I did say that this is coming, but having dug around further for information, I'm not so sure about that. It seems no information is available from the regional media about its launch date, gameplay features planned, or any plans for localization anywhere else really, considering the IP's popularity. Worst yet, a streamer managed to get footage from the early January beta and claims that the game is, quote, worse than modern mobile MMO games with a Dragon Ball skin. Huh, shame. And that's all I've got for now, folks. I'm still catching up on everything I've missed, and there's more to come real soon. Hit the like button and feel free to subscribe to the channel for more on MMOs and to get notified on all my latest uploads. Once again, I'm Adrian, and I thank you very much for watching. Hey folks, thanks so much for watching that video. If you guys want to watch more, you can click the subscribe button at the bottom there or somewhere over here. And don't forget to hit that bell to get notified on all my latest videos. So I'll see you guys at the next vid. Take care.